website.
Okay, so to provide an overview of, the renewal process, the renewal process is going to evaluate an agent's balances as of the end of every month. So the end of the month is the 24th of the month. That's the accounting month for home office. And all of the activity that is posted to the agent's account between the 25th through the 24th of the month is going to reflect in that agent's ending balance. So there are two balances for each agent account. So whenever an agent first starts with the company, they have one account number, that's their level one writing agent number. And then as they promote and transfer and promote within the hierarchy, then they'll get additional numbers for each agent contract and each manager level contract that they have. So at that point in time, we're working with multiple agent account numbers that have different account balances on each account. So what you see on the renewal commission report in ICM is basically a listing of all of the account numbers that belong to one agent and the ending balance on each account number as of the end of every month. So those ending account balances will be used for determination of a monthly renewal release. So just to provide like a visual aid, I will let me bring up just a few
Galb, did you ever participate
items.
agent?
Go ahead.
Like, because Galb's question was that somebody didn't get renewals. Who are you referring to? You or someone else?
Nicole.
Nicole. Well,
Yeah.
I could. It's because she just got promoted.
Well, but again, Colin had that for like 3 months where he wasn't getting any renewals. Like recently, he's fine. I just one of my questions is like, I know like what like clearing accounts means. Like I know when you change agent codes, it clears accounts, but more so it's just what does that actually mean? Melissa, I guess that's one of my questions.
What does it mean to clear an account?
Yeah, so like I know like when we promote, like when you switch an agent code, always your renewals drop because it pays off old balances, but like I don't know, I guess like I understand it, but I don't understand it, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so let's talk about, I guess, everything that goes in, I mean, to be reported in an agent's balance. So every account number has two balances. There is a ledger balance and a prepaid balance. What you see on the renewal commission report is going to be the ledger balance as of the end of the month. So the ledger balance is going to be what's used for determination of an agent renewal release. Um, separately, we have, I think I have, let me see, there are too many things open here. Separately, we have also the financial analysis report that's generated each month that will also show the agent's like prepaid balance on that account. So if you're looking, and you can also see these two balances on the monthly ledger statements each month also. So if you're only looking at the renewal commission report in ICM, it will list the ledger balances only. If you're looking at the financial analysis report and impact, it's going to list both the ledger and prepaid balances. So the prepaid balance on the account is denoted with an A on the financial analysis report. In current state, those prepaid balances are not listed on the renewal commission report in ICM. So we do plan to add them this year, but right now it's only the ledger balances. So another point of confusion is that, on the renewal commission report in ICM, we also list the total commissions that are credited to the account each month. So we're listing the ledger balances as of the end of each month, and then we're also listing the total commissions credited. This total commissions credited includes both initial, first year, and renewal commissions, all that have been credited within the month to that particular account. However, on the financial analysis report, you actually see the values that are split out by initial, first year, and renewal. On the renewal commission report in ICM, you see the sum of these three lines. So an important thing to point out, and a common question that we receive at home office is, for any given account, if you're looking at the renewal commission report in ICM, it'll show the sum of initial first year and commissions that are credited, but then it's only showing the ledger balance, which only essentially has the renewal commissions credited. The initial and first year commissions are credited to the prepaid balance to pay back the advance that was issued on that case. And so it's a common misconception that, and it kind of creates an expectation for the agent to receive the full amount of those commissions when really the first year and initial commissions are being used to pay off a prepaid debt that we're not listing on the report in current state. So would you plan on adding that, all of that information to the renewal commission report in ICM to kind of separate out these commissions are paying off this prepaid balance and these renewal commissions are clearing your ledger balance each month? Okay, so the two things that really go into the ledger balance. And so I think the original question was what goes into like clearing an account. So on the ledger balance side, what is going to clear the account is commissions. So that means that the business that's coded to that account has been issued, delivered. It's now premium paying in force policy. The home office is collecting premiums on that each month. And when we're collecting the premiums, we are crediting those commissions to the account. So the earned commissions under the contract are going to be credited to the prepaid balance that was created with the advance that pays off the advance. We continue to prepay commissions the first year of the policy. And so that is going to be credited to the ledger balance. And then also renewal commissions are credited to the ledger balance. So those first year prepaid commissions and renewal commissions will create a clear ledger balance. And if the agent's accounts are clear across the board, it will create a situation where the agent could be eligible for a renewal release where they're clear across the board. Then you have debit balances. So like you see here on this MB205 account, the debit balance is a positive balance. It has to be paid back in order for an agent to receive a renewal release. And what causes a debit balance on the ledger balance are weekly ledger chargebacks. So the weekly ledger chargebacks are the chargebacks on lost business where an advance has been paid upfront. It created a debt on the agent's prepaid balance. And now we're not going to have sufficient first year commissions to pay back that debt that was created by the advance because now the policy is no longer in force. It either never got issued in terms of decline, incomplete, NTO, cancel, withdrawal, or it lapsed within the first year. So that means there's going to be an unpaid amount of debt remaining on the prepaid balance that has to be moved over to the ledger balance. And whenever that's moved over to the ledger balance, it's credited to prepaid, charged to the ledger balance, and that creates this charge or this debit balance on the ledger balance. And we have to take commissions from other policies to pay back that debt. So whenever you see the weekly ledger chargebacks on the weekly advance reports, those are going to basically result in a charge to the ledger balance and can create either a decrease in the agent's monthly renewal release, or if the charges exceed the amount of credits that are available, then it could cause the agent not to receive a renewal release in the following month overall. And so all of the weekly ledger chargebacks that process, you see those on the advance report on a weekly basis. Whenever you drill down into like the policy details section of that report, it'll list the policy details for each section and then the calculated chargeback. The first column of that section will have an agent ID, and that agent ID represents the agent number that belongs to the agent whose report you're viewing, where that business was coded, where the advance was originally paid, and where the chargeback will process. So that kind of gives you an idea of the total chargebacks that are processing on each account. We're also going to be adding the chargebacks on lost business on this report where you can see, to provide some visibility into why some of these accounts are going back into a debt. So like in this example, if this debit balance was created by a chargeback, we're basically going to add a column that shows the total chargebacks that have been posted to this account each month to help provide visibility to the agent. the causes for those debit balances instead of the agent having to go back to the advance report each week of the month. And so all of the weekly ledger chargebacks that are processed between the 25th through the 24th of the month will impact the agent balance as of the end of the month, the 24th. And then those balances will be used for determination of a renewal release the following month on or around the 15th of the month release.
So is everything from the month prior, you were saying?
Yes,
Ledger
correct.
balance?
So the releases that we're processing next week, so we're going to run renewals for on Wednesday, May 17th next week. So we're taking into account all of the balances as of April 24th. So all balances that were clear as of April 24th would be used for termination of a release in the middle of May.
Gotcha.
So whenever you're looking at your reports in ICM, like the current report for the current month, so they're going to be indexed based on the date that we pay renewals. So the current month report is going to be the May report because that's the date that we're running renewals. That's the date that we're paying renewals. But the ledger balance prior month that you see for the month of May is actually going to list April 24th balances because those are the balances that were being used for the termination of a release. It's also going to list all of the April 24th commissions. And whenever you look at the financial analysis report for the same period, you'd be able to match, like, so this would be like an April 24th date that you would match. And all of the same balances and the same commission amounts are going to be listed on both places, the financial analysis report and the renewal commission report in ICM. So the chargebacks on lost business are going to be the biggest contributor to fluctuations in an agent's monthly renewal release. When you have a new agent, you know, a new agent, it's very possible for a new agent to start with a company. They have a number, they've submitted some business, and then within that same month or the following month, that business gets issued and delivered. And because the agent has no other chargebacks or no other activity, it could cause them to clear immediately and then receive a renewal release in month 2 or month 3, whenever they're very early on. As they continue to grow their business, and as their net to gross really falls below 100%, then they're going to see the chargebacks on lost business start processing. And so those chargebacks will have an impact on the monthly renewal release each month.
Melissa, what I gather from this too, there's obviously a lot of accounting that goes into this, and looking at, I see that you're pulling this up on ARC, so we can all refresh ourselves and go through the training of this stuff by reading these training, looks like examples that you guys have. So would you suggest really delving into those through ARC? It looks like under agency and files.
Yes, that's correct. So we have some training materials under the agency page. So first we have training materials on our ICM reports. Down at the bottom of that, there is a training document for the monthly renewal commission report. And then below that, we have some training materials, just PDF documents for our monthly report information. And so I do suggest, that all agents read the information that's published for the monthly financial analysis report. It's a very important report. And then also as supplemental information, I think it's important, for agents to also view how to read their commission ledger statements. I know that the commission ledger statements obviously that's a lot of information that's published, but the commission ledger statements is the agent's system of record of everything that posted to their balance each month. So it will list the ledger balance and the prepaid balance, and then it'll also, starting on page 2, list all of the charges. So this includes all of the charges, all of their advance activity, of course, all of the bonuses that they would have received. And then specifically, they can go to each number and look at transaction code AAL, prepaid commission chargeback. And this represents the weekly ledger chargebacks that home office processed to that particular agent number in that month. And so they'll see a weekly charge, and this will tie to the weekly charges that they see on their advance report. But you'll see here when we process the chargeback, we're simply just crediting the prepaid balance and then moving that debt over to the ledger balance to allow commissions from other policies to pay that back. So this is, if they don't want to go to their advance reports, they can also go to their monthly commission ledger statements. Again, later this year, we're going to be adding the total amount to each agent number on the renewal commission report. So the agent could clearly see for this agent number, they could see that $993 of chargebacks on lost business processed that month for that number. So they'll be able to see that. But we also have some valuable information into everything that actually goes in to the ledger balance and the prepaid balance. So, the activity that's posted to a ledger balance any given month is going to be, any miscellaneous charges or expenses. At an agent level, they won't really have a whole lot of that. They'll have monthly union dues as a charge. Then anything that is a weekly ledger chargeback that will increase, and then an explanation of how the commissions are credited to their ledger balance, in addition to all of their prepaid balance activity, which includes any weekly advances that are paid to them, expenses that are deducted from their advance, a credit for weekly ledger chargebacks, and also credits for their first year and initial commissions. So this helps summarize some of the activity that is reflecting in both balances. So you kind of better understand how we're rolling those balances and reporting all of the activity in those balances each month.
So Melissa, in a, I guess, hypothetical situation, you say, I just started this month and I write 10K this week, and then everything stays on the books. And then next month I take a vacation, so nothing goes on. Do I get the renewal? Would my renewals for that 10,000 in business reflect in June or July?
It'll reflect at the point in time that the business is issued and delivered and the premium is applied. So if we're collecting initial premium, we're drafting for the initial premium for every policy. If it gets submitted in month 1 and issued in month 2, then month 2, that will trigger the commissions credited to the account. And then in month 3, if they have no other debt, we'll release the commissions. If something is submitted and delivered in the same month, so this is based on fiscal month between the 25th and 24th, so it's based on our accounting month, then it's possible for a piece of business to be submitted and issued and the commission credited in the same month. And then in month 2, if there's no debt on the agent's account, they can receive a release. So when the agent, promotes throughout the hierarchy, they have additional agent numbers that are issued to them. Then eventually, throughout their course of tenure, they're going to accumulate multiple agent numbers. And so as they accumulate these multiple agent numbers, we're going to basically consolidate all of their balances across their multiple numbers. On an individual basis, if there is one account that has a debt, then we'll transfer credits from other accounts to pay off that debt, and then we'll release the excess credit.
Anybody else getting PTSD flashbacks from college accounting class?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding. I can nerd out in this stuff, so I appreciate you taking the time to go through with us.
Yeah, I think I got to start looking at it with the financial analysis report in hand. That's what I had, and that's the piece of it I wasn't doing.
The financial analysis report really helps because, it kind of helps first just provide a visual that everything that you see without an A is the ledger balance, and that this balance is going to match the balance that you see on the ICM report. In addition, it provides some visibility into the prepaid balances where the initial and first year commissions are going. So you'll see that once an account is closed, and it no longer has new business activity. It no longer has advance activity. We only have renewal commission activity, like what you see on this top agent number. So there's renewal commissions of $36 credited each month, and it results in a credit balance of $36 each month that will either release to the agent if they have no debt, or will transfer it to pay off other debt on other accounts. So for accounts that are closed and have no further first year commission activity, it's really common on even the renewal commission report for you to see some of this activity. So the total commissions credited equals the total credit balance as of the end of the month. For some of these newer accounts that still have first year activity, they're going to have a really large amount of commissions that are crediting, because that includes their first year commissions at the first year rate. But we're not crediting all of those to the ledger balance. So again, that's a common question that we receive now, and that's the reason why we're adding some additional information to this report in ICM to help provide greater visibility into how we're applying the commissions, and also adding the chargebacks on lost business for each number is going to be really valuable and really helpful for the agent to understand, like, what caused their renewals to change this month, or their ledger balances to increase this month.
Gotcha. All right.
Go ahead, John.
I was just gonna suggest that anybody have a specific question relative to a specific account that this wouldn't have answered, or that they want to ask while we got Melissa here.
I'm going off of Jake's question. So if let's say, for example, I received an MGA promotion, right? So I got a new contract. The cause for this quota, as you may hear from people, hey, you got a new contract, your accounts are clearing. And I apologize if you already answered this. So by me getting a new agent number, what the system is going to do is they're going to basically take away debt from my old agent number. And that's why sometimes you might see like a renewal drop after a promotion.
The promotion itself is not going to cause a renewal to drop. So the promotion itself, or even the agent obtaining a new number, is not the activity or the event that occurs to change an agent's renewal release. If they're getting a new number, then that means that we're closing the other account. So that means there's not going to be any further new business that's being loaded to that account. And so no new commission activity is being added. But for all of the cases that are still coded to their previous number, it's really important that that business is still conserved at the point in time that it falls off. If it falls off, if it doesn't get issued, it's important that those cases are reopened. And so I think that's really the activity that's occurring. What's going to cause a change to an agent's renewal release is their chargebacks. So if they're not conserving the business, or if it's a different hierarchy, it's important that that business is being conserved. If the chargebacks are occurring on that previous business, that's absolutely going to cause a decrease in an agent's renewal release. But getting a new number itself isn't necessarily going to cause the change. Keep in mind that we're using the ledger balances as a determination for release. And so whenever they get that new number, the new debt that they're creating on that new number is going to be advances, which go to the prepaid balance. So the prepaid balance represents all upfront stuff. It's going to be the debt that's created by the initial advance payment, and then we're going to use first year commissions to pay back that debt. So the increase is the advance, the decrease on the account is the commissions credited in the first year. The chargebacks go to the ledger balance. So if they have a new account, they don't really have any new debt on that account, but at the point in time that they start having chargebacks, then that can impact the renewal release and impact the ledger balance.
When you say chargeback, you're referring to like the ledger chargeback that affects it, not like, say, if I wrote something and it fell off in 2 weeks, that'd be a different type of chargeback, like that initial first year chargeback is what you're saying?
Any chargeback on lost business that you see on the advance report. So this is going to be for the declines, incompletes, NTOs, withdrawals, cancels, and first year lapses. So not the chargeback, not the deferred chargeback that you see on the top portion of your advance report. Those are deducted from your advance on a deferred basis. And all of those chargebacks are for cases that are actually still pending issue. Like perhaps there was a chargeback. Most common reason is for a returned initial premium. If those are resolved, then you get the advance and production credit back, and there's no back end chargeback on those. These are the chargebacks that would be for a case that finalized, that resulted in something other than the case being issued and delivered. And the chargeback is also only going to calculate for those that are actually exposed. So if they withdraw with an IP code or a no PRD code intact, then there will be no chargeback on lost business calculated for you, a back end like weekly ledger chargeback, because an upfront chargeback would have already calculated at the point in time that we processed the NSF or the return initial premium. So you would actually see that at the top of your advance report, and deducted from your advance. So the chargeback is either going to be like an upfront chargeback or a back end like weekly ledger chargeback. And it's one or the other, but not both. So if we took the chargeback up front for return initial premium, then if the case, if it's something that's not resolved and the case later withdraws, there will be no chargeback whenever it withdraws. So you'll see it listed in your weekly ledger chargeback section under your withdrawals, but it'll have an IP code next to it with a 0 amount in the chargeback field. So it provides you visibility that the withdrawal occurred, but it didn't actually process a chargeback and charge to your ledger balance.
Thank you. That makes sense.
So one question. So if, let's say 1 month you're in one of your agent codes on the weekly ledger chargeback, or not the chargeback, the ledger balance of the prior month, let's say it was a positive 400.
Okay.
And then the following month under that same agent code, it's now a positive 2100. Does that mean under that agent code that's how much business fell off?
Yes. That means that they would have had the difference, and like the 1,700 and
Yeah.
chargebacks of lost business that month. So between the 25th and the 24th of that month, they would have had $1,700 of chargeback on lost business processed on that particular agent number that month. Now, if you're the only other charges that process to a non-SGA account would be like dues, and dues are like $30 a month if they're paying dues. So those would be the only other charges at an agent level.
Okay.
Do you have an example of one? Do you want to walk through one?
I mean, that pretty much answers my question.
Okay. And so they would be able to see those chargebacks on lost business by accumulating the amount that's on the weekly advance reports in ICM, or they can go to their monthly, that really a one-stop is the monthly commission ledger statement for that number. And it'll show the total sum that processed for the month. And of course, once we add this column to the monthly renewal commission report, they will be able to see that on the report next to that number.
And we find that ledger that you said that's right on impact?
Yes, correct. It's a monthly report. It's transmitted on or after the 25th of each month. The past 2 months, they were transmitted at a later time. The first set was removed, and then we transmitted a second set. So the dates on those may be a little bit later, but they should still be indexed by that same month, like the month of March or a month of April.
I think if you go to agent workspace reports, right, and then that drop, you can click the drop down, and there'll be like PVFC, the 5%, the yada yada yada. I think that's where she's referring to.
You said agent ledgers, agent ledger reports, when you can see that all, Melissa?
Yes, correct.
All right, cool.
And is there a formula or like an equation that calculates the that bucket amount?
Yes, there
That
is.
way we can kind of like anticipate it or like do it ourselves, I guess.
Yes, there is. I'm glad you asked that question.
That was the question I asked Nick, and that's when he texted you or asked you to hop on.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so this bucket amount, And by the bucket amount, you mean like the first year prepaid commission, right? So the total first year prepaid commission that's going to be credited. So remember, their earned commission, so if an agent's on a 60% contract, they're getting 60% of the monthly premium credited to their prepaid balance each month, because we're taking first year and initial commissions and crediting to their prepaid balance. But in addition to that, so that's off to the side. We're paying off their advance with their first year commissions. Like, in addition to that, the reason why like a new agent receives a monthly renewal release is because we continue to prepay first year commissions throughout the first year of the policy. Okay. So that means when the policy is issued and delivered and it's premium paying and in force, in month 2, we are going to credit 225% of the monthly commission to the agent's ledger balance. And so this 225%, so they're getting 225% of their regular commission credited to them. And so whenever an agent is consistently writing business and that business is consistently getting issued and delivered, this really helps with their cash flow on the monthly renewal release, because we're advancing so much to their ledger balance and allowing it helps their ledger balances clear very quickly, and it allows them to receive a renewal release. If you have an agent who kind of has some ebbs and flow, on their production, like if they are not consistently submitting like new business and that new business is not getting consistently issued, then they're not really experiencing this influx of credit to their ledger balance on a regular monthly basis. So that's another contributing factor that could contribute to, fluctuations in their renewal release. So month 2, they get 225% of their monthly commission credited to their ledger balance. Month 3, it's 40% of their monthly commission, and then you'll see it's on a kind of a decreasing basis throughout the month, or excuse me, throughout the year, months 2 through 12. Okay, so this is on the training document for the monthly ledger statement. And so this is kind of the schedule. It does have the percentages broken down by the percentage, if we calculate it based on like a percentage of advanced on annualized commission versus the percentage of advance on monthly commission. So this month 1 is the initial premium that is collected with the policy. So if we were to, we prepay 65% of the annualized commission up front. And so that's the advance rate that you see on the advance report for all of the new business that's submitted. If we take that same calculation and translate the percentage to a percentage of the monthly commission that we advance, it's 780% of the monthly commission.
This example is for a career agent, correct?
Yes, this is for all agents, everybody across the board. This is the prepaid commission rate schedule. So everybody who is on the prepaid system, which is everybody, will receive this prepaid commission rate each month of the first year that the policy is in force. So
is that for the exception of
Everybody
agents in the first 90 days?
Right. 90-day agents would be
No.
set.
This prepaid commission accounting occurs for everybody. So at the point in time that the policy is submitted, we are advancing 65% of the annualized commission upfront in the form of the weekly advance payments. When the policy is then issued and delivered in month 2, we are advancing 225% of the monthly commission to the agent's ledger balance. In month 3, we're advancing 40% of the monthly commission to the ledger balance. So this last column is the prorated chargeback rate that you would see if the policy lapses within the first year. So some of these percentages may look familiar to you based on the lapse section of your advance report. So this is just a prorated chargeback that takes into account the total months of premium that we collected before the policy lapsed. And so there is a calculation. And so this is the ending result of the calculation. But if the policy lapses in month 2, then the chargeback rate is 56.67. So that means that we only collected 1 month of premium when the policy lapsed. You'll see in month 3, the chargeback rate actually increases to 67.08. And that's because we advanced a large amount of commission to the agent's ledger balance in month 2. So If the policy lapses in month 3 after we've only collected 2 months worth of premium, then we take into account the total amount of earned commissions minus the amount of prepaid commissions that have been paid. And so the prorated chargeback rate is 67.08. So that's a common question we receive at home office whenever there's a month 3 lapse. Like, why are you charging me back more than what I received in advance? It's because we paid the advance and also paid 225% of the commissions to the ledger balance in month 2. So that's the prorated chargeback.
Question for that with the 65% is because when an agent is in their first 90 days or before they net 15,000, they have a 75%
Oh, got it.
prepaid commission rate.
Yeah.
So I was just curious if this is only for anyone that's outside of that 90 days or above that 15,000 in net.
It's going to be, so the end result is going to be the same. If an agent receives over or under this base 65% advance, so that includes like the 75% agents in their first days. I'm sorry, I missed that's what you were saying. You're correct.
I was listening to you, so I get it.
Yes. So if they're receiving over 75% advance, or if even if an agent's on like reduced advance due to low quality, if they're getting like a 55% advance, then that difference over or under will be adjusted in month 2. So essentially, if they're getting a 75% advance up front, then we would adjust this month 2 figure, but then all other percentages would be the same. So in the end, at the end of the first year, it still like totals out to the same amount of commission overall.
And to be clear, this is for lapsed, right? This is like if it's a fall off before it was issued, then it's 100%.
Correct.
Right. So this is for policies that were in place and then lapsed.
Yes, that's
Finalized
correct.
amount.
So
Yeah,
this last column, yes, represents policies that lapsed within the first year. So this month 1, 65% advance would actually represent anything that didn't make it to issue, so that would be for anything where we collected the initial premium payment, but then it lapsed and we had to reverse it out. Like, so, if a policy declined and complete, NTO'd, withdrawn. If a policy cancels as of issued, that's the same because we reverse the premium and refund the premium back to the customer. So a cancel as of issue would be 65%. Anything that you see from month 2 forward would be a prorated chargeback percentage for a first year lapse. And if a lapse occurs after month 12, there's no prorated chargeback because all commissions are straight earned from that point. There's no more prepaid commissions that are paid after month 12.
I feel like I could have you on here for hours almost. So you just made me think of another question. What is a cancel as of issue? Can you give me an example of what a cancel as of issue would be?
A cancel as of issue just indicates that the policy was issued and delivered by underwriting. So it was submitted, the policy did get issued, and then the customer, for whatever reason, no longer wanted the policy, and it resulted in a refund of that premium. So
That'd be like an
after
NTO.
issue,
That would be an NTO. Issued with a mod that they didn't accept.
No, that
That
would be an NTO. It actually got issued to the customer. So it got issued, it was in delivered status, it got issued, it was actually a premium paying enforced policy. And then something occurred where we reversed all the premiums.
Like
So
they canceled within the first 30 days or the grace period or something like
it
that?
could be a cancellation, it could be and it could happen. It's in certain cases, it could result in more than 1 month of premium, being reversed. So anything that basically empties all of the premium out of the policy after it's issued can result in a cancel. So, and those cancels will be listed on the lost business section of your report. So it's the difference between the cancel and the withdrawal is the cancel actually got issued to the customer, whereas the withdrawal was still pending underwriting, a review and approval when it occurred.
Got it. Thank you. No more.
So if it's possible, I was trying to get like a simplified like summary of this. So like if in April, I write 10K ALP, everything stays on the books, everything was delivered in April. How would I be able to like just without, is there like a way that I could be like, or you could be like, right now, this is how much you're going to get in renewals this month, Miles?
Yeah. Yes, I think that I have something that I can send to you that it actually calculates that. And I've stopped sharing. Let me pull this up and I'll show this to you.
While she's pulling that up, Miles, one thing too to consider is different policies are going to result in different percentages of renewals in their first
Okay.
year. So that's always something to keep in mind too. Like selects versus whole life.
Right. I'm just thinking, but we can add all that. We can add our commissions up already. We can already summarize all that. I was trying to do that, trying to figure out how to do the same thing for.
Oh, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with
Oh,
it.
yes.
So you can enter, for any given policy, your annualized premium and the agent's commission rate. So like your commission rate's your earned commission tied to your contract will vary based on the product. Just as you just mentioned, at a manager level, you're going to need to enter your commission carve out. So this could be the commission rate that you see on your advance report, because as a manager, you would get the difference between your rate and the rate of the agent below you in the hierarchy. So you can take this spreadsheet and I'll send this to the group afterwards, and you can plug in your annualized premium amount and the commission rate, and it'll populate all of the first year commission activity and the chargeback percentages for you. So in this case, we have, the monthly premium is $100 a month or $1,200 a year. You have a 60% agent. And so this is going to calculate, the total advance up front. So the calculated advance is $468 each month of the first year. And so this also has your ledger balance and your prepaid balance. And so your charges and your credits. And you want your balances to be a credit balance because that results in the renewal payment. Like this column, this ledger credit can result in a renewal payment if they're clear across all of their accounts. So in this example, it would be, a calculated advance of a $468 that's debited to the agent account, prepaid balance up front. And then each month of the first year, you'll see that the calculated commission is just the monthly premium times the agent's commission rate. So this is the first year commission that's credited to the prepaid balance, and it's decreasing the prepaid balance every month. Okay, and so that's just the calculation. And you can change these amounts and it will calculate it for you. In addition, we have this prepaid commission activity where we continue to prepay the commissions to the ledger balance each month of the first year. So the 225% in month 2 is just the agent's monthly commissions times 225%. So that gets credited. If you're only looking at an agent that's been here 2 months, then basically you'll see a $135 credit to their ledger balance in month 2. And they could potentially receive that as a monthly renewal release if they have no other debt elsewhere. Okay. And then this is going to be the calculated amount based on the commission schedule, the monthly commission schedule. And so this is just going to be the calculated amount that you see here, and then also the calculated chargeback amount if the policy lapses in any given month. And you can come in here and play with it. You can change it. It'll change all the amounts for you. Do y'all have any questions about this example?
I guess maybe I might have missed it. So for example, is this example just a whole life policy in the whole life bracket, or would this be, it doesn't matter if it's whole life, preferred, executive, select?
This calculation, you just have to plug in your annualized premium and the commission rate, whatever that is. That commission rate is going to be tied to the type of plan that it is. So in this example, I'm using a 60% commission rate, which is a writing agent writing a whole life policy.
Yeah.
But you can plug in any commission rate that so if you're
This is for a single policy, Larry. I don't.
That's it, Miles. That's what.
Yeah,
popped
this
in
is
my
for a
head.
single policy.
Single
that
policy,
you get.
not
Yeah,
your
yeah.
whole week.
Yeah, so you
Yes.
could change it like she was saying, like if it was like a select life, then we would change the 6.5 or the 60 to 47.5 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
On the top left up there.
Mhm.
And we don't
And
want
you
to
could-
screw, we
Go
don't
ahead.
want to screw up your formula. If you send this to us, should we like make a copy of it or something?
It'll be yours once I send it to you. You can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want with it.
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
So then
And so-
essentially as time goes on, you get less and less renewals off that policy.
In the first year, this prepaid rate decreases. Now, keep in mind that they're still getting their earned commission. And so this is the earned commission that's paying off the advance and all of the prepaid commissions. And so at the end of the first year, you know, when a policy pays up for 12 months, you'll see that the advance has been paid back. All of the first year commissions have been paid back. So there's no debt, debits and credits equal on the prepaid balance. So that essentially means there's no balance left on the prepaid. And a total of $252 has been credited to the ledger balance. And the amount that has been credited to the agent is the total amount that's been credited to the ledger balance plus the advance is $720, and that's the annualized commission. After month 12, what you're going to see is just a straight earned commission to the ledger balance in the form of the renewal commission credited at the renewal rate. So from that point forward, you know, the agent in this same example, the agent's going to have a 3% renewal commission on this premium that's collected. And so you will see $3 credited to the ledger balance each month for the life of the policy.
Is that 3% flat
That's
for
whole life.
every type of policy?
No.
Everything?
No, that's the rate on whole life. Like preferred is like 2.5%. It's based on the
Oh, that's in
commission schedule.
that's in the commission schedules. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or if you ever want, I'll sometime you can crack out on ARC and I'll show you where there are all the different commission schedules and stuff.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I was just curious where you got that number. Okay, that makes sense. So it's 3%. So month 13 indefinitely, it would just be as long as they pay for ever, it would just be $3 for this policy forever.
Yeah,
Okay.
and of course the agent has to stay active with the company, and then of course after 10 years of service, the agent's lifetime vested, and they would receive 100% commissions for life of the policy.
Main reason that people are seeing decrease in renewals from what I've gathered just kind of watching you guys is not writing consistent business is going to decrease because they're not getting that bucket filled back up with those big credits like the 135 and stuff like that. And then also if they have stuff falling off in the previous months.
And so then the vested, so it'd be year 13 or it'd be month 13. So it'd be 10 years or 10% vested. That $3 would actually only be 30 cents. And then
Yeah, if they leave the company and they're only 10% vested, then yeah, it would be 10% of their earned commissions that would be
the
credited to their
$3,
account.
gotcha.
Makes sense.
Would you say that months 2 through 4 are extremely important based on that big percentage of the percentage of monthly commission to make sure that it stays on those months 2 through 4? Like, and I'm not saying that the rest of the months aren't important, but
All
2 through
12,
4 extremely important.
all 12 months are very important.
Of course.
Remember, if even if you pay through month 4, if it later lapses in month 9, then you still have a chargeback of $207 that's going to get charged here, and it's going to reduce your renewal release. It's going to require commissions from other policies to pay that back. So it's really important that we collect all 12 months of premium. The agent needs to ensure that the policy is enforced for 12 months in order to break even on the policy, because we're continuing to advance every month of the first year.
How is it affected if you do an annual draft?
If you do an annual draft, then what you would see is like the full $1,200 credited here. like as soon as the policy is issued and delivered. So you won't see the monthly amounts, but you would see the total credit in month 2.
So would that be like an ideal situation? It's just like you get everybody to do annual draft and then you're maxing out your renewals?
Yeah. I mean, if a customer is able to afford that annual premium upfront, then yes, I mean, the total commission, everything that you see here would be credited immediately upon delivery of the policy.
Let's work on that script.
The annual draft script.
Well, this is so helpful because the other day I was just like thinking about how the proration works. For example, I saw a policy of one of my agents after 11 months fall off, and I noticed, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. There's still a pretty decent chargeback. How it makes sense.
And to your point, Larry, about the first 4 months, that's going to result in your retention score as well.
12 months.
But the
I'm
first,
in this for the long haul. I don't know about you guys. All right, it's those renewals, baby. That's
And where you really would be maxing it out, right, is if you're writing business as a MGA, RGA, because now you're getting a higher renewal percentage that's getting credited to your accounts. Because what's a RGA if you're at a 77.5, you're getting like what, 6% renewals or?
yeah, that's on the schedules, right?
Yeah, so everything would be higher in first year, and then you get 6%. So I mean, you get double the renewal commission for a lifetime, if you're vested, and that's always the goal, right? Career agent,
But then when you are an RGA, then for James, whatever I write, that commission rate would just be the override, right?
So
The sake renewals.
your personal business will need to be coded to your MGA number. And then your RGA, if you have
that's what I meant.
coded to an RGA, then yes, the RGA would get the difference between their rate and your rate. So if you have like I
have a 62.5.
Yeah. You have a 62.5 contract right now?
Yeah, as an SA.
Okay. So your renewal rate on whole life is 3.5%. And then so your upline hierarchy, like if you're coded to like a GA, they would get 0.5% renewal year. The MGA would get the difference of 2%. The RGA would get the difference of 1%. And then likewise, you as an SA, I mean, you get an override, on the business for your writing agents. So, you would get 0.5%, as a renewal override for all the agents coded to you.
So guys, the ideal situation is to be an RGA, get a couple essays coded to you, then you're getting the same amount of overrides and renewals you'd get if you're writing business, basically. I like it.
Melissa, this has been awesome. Thank you.
I say, Gal, is this exactly what you're looking for, Larry, Miles?
Yeah, it definitely answers a lot of questions.
I'm always, I just haven't taken the time to ever delve into those training reports that I know have existed. So I'll put that blame on me.
Well, someone mentioned a question about making sure it's paid through the 4th month. So from a retention standpoint, yes, I mean, we're evaluating the percentage of business that has been paid through the 4th month. And so that's absolutely required, for advance and bonus eligibility. That's the quality metric that we're using. But for profitability, you need 12 months to break even, because again, we're continuing to advance. And so after 12 months, all the commissions are straight earned, and that's where you see all the balances are paid off, and you just see the commissions crediting and the credit balance each month that would be releasing. And there would be no further chargebacks, after the first year. There's no prorated chargebacks if the policy later lapses. Now the commission stops, and obviously you want to keep your business in force, and you want your renewal commissions. But the full 12 months is really important for profitability.
So then once it makes it past to the 13th month, then if it falls off, you don't have to worry about it in terms of renewals,
There's-
affecting your renewals?
There's no chargeback, so there would be no prorated chargeback, like no chargeback on lost business. You just wouldn't receive the commission credit each month.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, it does affect your, if you have a large volume of business. So like in this case, this one policy, if it falls off in month 15, then at that point in time, it was paying renewal commissions of $3 a month, then you no longer will receive the $3 a month. And
Right,
keep
but
in
no
mind,
debt,
that's
there would be no debt on the agent at that point. The
Correct.
account would be cleared, okay.
yes, that's correct. But, this is all the activity that happens on one single policy. So think of all the policies, think of all the action, that's going on. So this really accumulates to quite a lot.
Mhm.
$1 million in production, you got a lot of moving pieces. A lot of renewals.
I'll provide a copy of this after the call. And then, after everybody has kind of an opportunity to maybe review the materials that are out on the Agency Resource Center and also play around with this. If you have additional questions after this initial call, we can certainly schedule follow-up calls and I can help address any other questions that come up.
Thanks
Sweet.
so much.
I appreciate
That was really great.
Thank you, Melissa.
Is there anything else on the ARC website? Aside from the financial analysis, the commission ledger, were there any other like pages that we should check out besides the few that you showed us?
Well, there's going to be some training documents on all of the ICM, reports, but those are mainly going to be like weekly advance and bonus reports and also the new monthly bonuses. But check out maybe the training material on the weekly advance, like details report that has some information on how to read like the policy information for chargebacks on lost business. Under the agent page of if you scroll further down on the agent page beyond the training materials, that's where we're going to list all of the commission schedules by contract. So I believe you or somebody had asked about the commission schedules. So those are all posted on the Agency Resource Center. So you can kind of see like a writing agent, what their commission rates are, but for both first year and renewal rates on all of their different types of business, and then the manager level contracts as well.
Well, thank you very much, Melissa. I appreciate your time.
Seriously.
Yeah, that was great.
You're most welcome.
And if you have any other cool spreadsheets like that, feel free to send them over to us.
This is the only one I can really think of offhand. I'm trying to think. I think I have a PowerPoint that kind of explains this first year commission activity. It's just basically the same information that's in the spreadsheet, but the spreadsheet has formulas, so I think it's actually more valuable than the PowerPoint. But again, if if you have any additional follow-up questions, we can schedule more time or just reach out anytime. I'm happy to help.
Thank you so much.
Melissa.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody. Have a great day.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
Bye.